and there's hardly a more beautiful place to be than where we're sitting right now. If you're watching on Fox 47 or listening on radio stations all across the state of Michigan, we're in the parlor of Grand Hotel on Mackinac Island looking at the flag. I've decided that's a lufting American flag. I was trying to describe what the wind conditions were like earlier, but the straits look relatively calm, bit cloudy, and there was some red sky this morning, so sailors like Chris Shepler maybe take warning this morning. We're here, as I said, on Mackinac Island at Grand Hotel. Bob Taggets is the Mackinac Island Grand Hotel historian. That makes you sound like a serious, learned fellow.
I'm a wealth of useless information. And I can prove it in the next half hour.
I saw you on television here in the Grand Hotel. They show a video of you sort of telling the story. Things I didn't know, that this was the world's biggest speakeasy at one time.
Well, we had, you go right to the tough stuff, right in the beginning. Let's just dig up some dirt on Grand Hotel, for God's sakes.
Well, you know, it's so refined, and everyone has this image, but there's a lot of intrigue here, too.
Let me put it to you this way. We've been owned or associated with the same family for generations. We've done what's necessary to keep the doors open.
Yeah,
and during Prohibition, wasn't much of a dry day in the building, and a fella came in 1918 to put in a speakeasy, and believe me, that paid the bills for a while.
Well, access to Canada made it easy to get the whiskey, right?
52 miles from here. They could bring it down in the middle of the night. Our carriages would pick it up. If it came in a little early and the sun would be coming up, we actually had maids and went out there and put the liquor in baby carriages and took it for a little walk downtown.
You're joking.
No, I'm not joking.
Really?
Yeah.
Everybody was in on it.
Pretty much. It was open but not open. We served it in 3 areas here in the hotel.
Also, slot machines? I'm shocked to learn there was gambling.
Shocked and beside himself. Oh, yeah. We had a speakeasy in the back of the house. My favorite thing is we had roulette wheels in a room with a revolving wall. So you could push the wall around, and the roulette wheels would go into a room with no doors or no windows.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's great. One open gambling area we had, which is now our art gallery, but they had pinball machines. Between each one of the pinball machines was a big RCA Victor console radio. And it looked like a radio, but you could open the grill, you could screw a handle into the tuning knob, and they were nickel slot machines. You could play them till the cops came.
Wow, those were the days.
Those were the days. A little crazy around here.
Whatever happened to those slot machines?
Well, I found out funny you ask. I found out last year we were out on the boat. We were cruising on the straits. We were talking about our gambling history, and the owner of the hotel pointed to a spot in the lake and said, the feds made us dump them in the lake. They're right out front of the hotel. It's crazy.
You had to ditch them.
Had to ditch them.
Also, another fact that was almost unbelievable to me is that the hotel was very close to being torn down at one stage.
Actually, 2 times in our history, it was on the verge. The first owner that bought it, and it was tough to make a living. Our season today is 6 months long, and we struggle to make a nice living. When we opened up, our season was only 2 months long. We had over $250,000 invested in the original building, $62,000 to furnish it. You add 2 months of income, and then you locked your doors with 0 income 10 months out of the year. First sole owner bought the hotel essentially for half price in 1910. He threatened to tear it down. Basically, his statement was the lumber in the hotel was worth more than it would ever generate as a lodging, and thank goodness we proved him wrong.
Yeah. They would have built, cottages here then on the spot. Right?
That was the idea. The second time we're going to be torn down is after the Depression. The Depression hit us hard. We were run 3 years under receivership, and you betcha there was a fellow wanted to tear the place down, build some cottages for his friends in the insurance business in North Chicago, but we had a hero come in and save us.
These are all coming back to me now, but how long did it take to build the hotel?
That's the amazing thing. Originally, we were 200 rooms, 404 feet long, and normally it would take about 9 to 11 months to build a hotel of that size. They were in such a hurry to have us open for the season. They drug the lumber across the frozen lake in the winter. They assembled 600 workers, and instead of 9 to 11 months, they built this hotel in 93 days.
93 days.
Yep. When you walk around our humble hotel, you'll notice maybe some of the floors are a little crooked or the hallway slant a little bit. Well, we was in a hurry.
That's part of the charm, though, isn't it?
That is part of the charm. Old wood frame, that's indigenous not just to us, but to other wood frame hotels between settling and building. Also, for the 600 workers, our builder ended up having to pay double wages. And a few people fudged, which is a bad pun, but 2 people fudged on their ability. When he got here, found out they were illiterate. And he said, I need any human being that can grasp a hammer to finger this project. So we had to keep them. So a few things may not have the correct measurements that they should have.
We're going to have the Republican Leadership Conference here. They will, anyway, in September, and there'll be presidential candidates, Mitt Romney among them, who spent a lot of time on Mackinac Island, obviously, when his father was governor. But we've had presidents here at Grand Hotel. What What goes around having a president here, and who was the most recent U.S. president to visit?
Well, the first President Bush, former President Bush was the last one to visit us. We've had 5 presidents since we've been here, and it's very exciting. Number one, the publicity is great for the hotel. And I will tell you one thing with other government officials, working with the Secret Service is absolutely a pleasure. They come in, we're all nervous about it. They believe me, they have every T crossed and every I dotted.
That's easy for you to say.
That's easy for me to say this morning. More coffee, more coffee.
You just love this place, don't you?
Oh man, I came here. I literally was going to spend a couple years here. I was doing research on it, and I knew I'd love the hotel. I'd been here before as a guest, but I had no idea I'd fall in love with the island, the family that owned this hotel, the people on the island. Michigan's just amazing.
I'm told, and I hope this doesn't embarrass you, that you were a dock porter. You loved it so much that you were willing to work at the docks and work your way up.
Yeah, I just come from down South Florida. I was training staff down in the Palm Beach area, and I wanted to work here so bad. I was the oldest, fattest bellman, the oldest dock porter you ever saw. I carried luggage. I was probably the worst convention manager they ever had. Then finally, the whole reason I came here, they go, we think we need a historian. I'm like, I've been telling you that for a while. So that was 16 years ago.
You found your niche.
Yeah, well, I made my niche. I didn't find it. There was no niche. They were nicheless, and I helped them out.
What would you say is the biggest surprise to some? Because you get repeat business every year. People, this is a tradition, maybe even a couple times a summer. Biggest surprise to people who come for the first time?
Wow, there's no really one thing. I guess people that have a preconceived idea what a 125-year-old hotel is going to look like, when they come in, we don't represent a single period in history. We're the best of a bunch of periods put together. Dorothy Draper, Carlton Varney designed bright, splashy, fun, summer colors. That's the oh wow factor when you walk in the door and you expect kind of a Victorian-looking place, and you're hit with these vivid colors. That's the most fun. The oh wow factor, I call it.
Yeah, you said in the video that the color beige was banned from the property.
About 1977, yeah, we got rid of beige. We have 385 rooms, and every single room is decorated differently.
I'm in the Napoleon suite.
Oh, man, what a great room. What a great room.
I hope that doesn't stop anybody from renting it in the future. It's a lot of fun. And you're a lot of fun. Thank you very much for the chat.
Man, it's a pleasure to be here, my friend.
I hope that anyone who visits Grand Hotel will look you up when you're here. Bob Taggart's the Grand Hotel historian. Back in a flash.